Well, as I've entered into adulthood, one of the first things that really started to irritate me is definitely call centres. That's when you know you are a fully fledged adult, because no longer are your texts going to your mates or your phone calls going to your mates. They're now going to places like TalkTalk. So, one thing they always say is, how your call is important to them, which is really lovely, because my mum has never once said that my call is important to her. And I've got to say to her, Mum, you may say you love me, but I just want you to say to me that my call is important to you. But you always get like three different types of people answering your calls in call centres. The first one's the one who's always friendly, the one who's always your mate, and it's really overly friendly. You go, Danny, how can I help you today? And then the second one is the ruthlessly efficient one, the one who actually doesn't listen to a word you say, and you say, I've got a problem with my direct debit, and they go, okay, we just cancel that for you, goodbye. And then there's the third one, which happens in most cases. It's the real condescending prat. You know, the ones where they ask me for your postcode, and I say, being the good Boy Scout that I was, I say, it's in the NATO alphabet, I say, Bravo Sierra 1, and they go, you do realise, Mr. Graves, that actually your postcode's made up of initials, not actual words. I generally can't actually believe it, that someone is that stupid to think that I actually think my postcode is Bravo Sierra. Oh well. But yes, last year I left university and went on the job market for the first time. And one of the things that I found quite interesting was the newfangled telephone interviews. On the one hand, they're brilliant because you can have an interview while lying in your bed, bollock naked, and so that is actually, quite good. So, and because they can't sack you, they can still give you the job, even though you're, naked. But they start asking you weird questions like, "What are you wearing?" And they don't really know how to answer that. So I sort of say, well, I'm wearing a leather mankini with my whip. But that doesn't usually go down well. And then they say, do you have any inappropriate tattoos? I go, no, just the one of Nigel Farage on my forehead and swastikas on my cheeks. But apart from that, it's all good. But then they move on to other questions, like, one of them was, when was the last time you were ruthless? Gosh, what kind of a question is that? Ruthless. I mean, I'm a bit of more of a teddy bear than a grizzly bear, so I don't really know how to answer that one. So, what's that question for? What's he recruiting me for? Is he recruiting me to become some kind of Sith Lord? So I just froze, to be honest. I mean, how do you answer that question? So, did you say, last time I went into an orphanage and stamped all the kids' toys? Just unbelievable. And then from that, I got a job at an assessment day, which is one of the most awful experiences of my life. Instead of like a half an hour interview, sit down interview, that gets dragged out over 6 hours, and it's in front of people who, a bit like The Apprentice, when they have all those horrible interviews, and they ask you weird questions that have absolutely nothing to do with the job. One of the questions I had was, how many nappies are there in Britain? What's this job for? Is it for like an audit for Huggies? I actually just could not believe it. But then they said to us, stand up and say a name. I mean, that's one you don't need to prepare for, hopefully. But the second question got me worried. I mean, it was, what is your star sign? And for most people, that's absolutely fine. They can stand up and say, I'm an Aquarius. But I had a bit of an embarrassing moment in school when, instead of saying, I'm a Virgo, I said, I'm a virgin. And it basically completely, so I was really worried about it, because the job I was going for was a sales job. So I didn't want to stand up and say, I'm a virgin, so I think, okay, this guy will be good at doing all the talking. he'll be good at do the wining and dining, but can he actually seal the deal and do the job? And that really wouldn't work. But so unfortunately, I didn't get that job, which I wasn't too displeased with, because the people who were doing it weren't the nicest, and so I went home a bit distressed, and went up to my dad and said, "Dad, I'm not too happy with how that went." And he said, "Son, I work for HM Revenue Customs, which isn't the most popular jobs." And he said to me, "Why don't you come and work for me then?" So I went up to him, went straight up to him, and I headbutted him, blood everywhere. He was lying on the ground. My mum and brother had rushed over to restrain me from doing anything else. And they said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just committing an aggressive tax avoidance." And also, besides, I wouldn't want to do it because the job's way too taxing. That job's a killer with my dad and his colleagues, by the way. But one other thing that really is quite weird is who decided that pigeons crapping on you is a sign of good luck? I mean, when did you see someone with pigeon mess down their front and think, "Do you know what, that fella, he is one lucky guy. He must be a rich guy, he must be, got an abundance of cash, got an abundance of, women, flash car." No, you don't see that. You think, "Oh, look at that fella." Pigeon. And also, if it is considered good luck, why do people at weddings get chimney sweeps? Why don't we go to whole hog and get a flock of pigeons and seagulls, bring them in the church, let them shit over everybody, let them have a poo on everyone, but don't worry, the bride and groom will be blessed for life and the best of luck. Actually, it really is unbelievable. And the same people are the ones who came up with the 5-second rule. Do you know what the 5-second rule is? When a piece of food drops on the floor and someone counts to 5, I mean, is that a rule that people agreed with the germs themselves? Do the germs count to 5 seconds before they climb all over the food? I don't think so. I don't think the germs are poised there, waiting. Okay, stop, watch out. Okay, count to 5. And pounce. And what happens is, because germs are not really, sort of savoury characters, I would imagine. So, are we sure they would count to 5? Is there any way of knowing they count to 5? I mean, it's just a bit crazy. And another thing I saw the other day was I went past Iceland and it said, "Food you could trust." Well, I don't want to trust food, I want to eat it. I'm not going away, when I go away on holiday, I don't say to my frozen chicken, "Please look after the house and don't throw any house parties." It just doesn't happen, But farm foods, on the other hand, can't trust those bastards. They really do, muck about, and you can't tell them a single secret because they'll go straight to the tabloids and they will, tell you most sordid secrets. But food you can trust. Now you can see why Kerry Katona was with Iceland, because all of her, rubbish, horrible stories that went on in her personal life, she could tell the Iceland food because you could trust them. But unfortunately she got sacked because trust works both ways, and they said to the local company, "No, seriously guys, we cannot have this, we cannot have this behaviour. She's ruining our reputation." So they had to get rid of her. But now they've hired Peter Andre, so as I say, the rest is history. Anyway, thank you very much. It's been great having me, and it's been great listening to other bands as well. Thank you very much.